now, before we go on to our first talk, let's have a bit of introduction of who she is. So our first speaker will be Miss Archana Vijay Kumar. She is a global citizen that has an undying interest in law, leadership, and self-growth. Passionate and motivated about human philosophy, spirituality, and its impact on personal lives and international politics. Alongside being a nation builder, she is also an avid speaker and published writer on creative and critical ideas. So let's welcome her.
Thank you so much. Can you guys hear me?
Yep. Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
can you see me as well?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Hi everyone, good morning. Thank you so much for joining all of us on a Saturday morning. I know it's very difficult staring at the same laptop, but thank you so much. Okay, I'll just start sharing my screen. All right, can you all see my screen? If you can, just give me a thumbs up. All right, awesome. Okay, again, good morning, everyone. My name is Archana. I am not so much older than all of you, but thank you so much for coming in today to listen to me and everyone else as well. I'm going to talk to you about effective leadership today. So what I'm basically going to do is I'm going to share with you what is effective leadership and how you as a student, as a friend, as a brother, as a sister, can have effective leadership in your everyday life. Okay, so let's get on to it. A little background about me. I am a public speaker where I'm given many talks regarding topics that I think I'm very passionate about. These topics are normally on spirituality, youth empowerment, etc., those kind of things. I'm also a published writer where I shared these topics in written words. I think words are very important in our day-to-day life. So if I can speak about it, I should write about it. And I also have joined a lot of organizations, basically the Commonwealth Youth Council, to learn about leadership and youth empowerment, because this is a very important topic in my heart, and I think it's very important in our current life. So in my journey of understanding what is leadership, right, I have met so many people, this picture being a group of delegates from all over the world, Indian, Pakistani, Bangladesh, all of them, and I've asked them one question: what is leadership to you? And I used to get very differing answers. Everybody used to tell me something different. And that's when I realized that leadership as it is a very, very unique point of view. It's something very subjective. I may think I am a leader, or I think someone else is a leader, but it won't necessarily be the same for you. So in my journey of leadership brought me to many beautiful stages. So this was one of it, being the Wachana Sinar Harian last year, where I spoke about leadership and with these amazing panelists who were psychologists, counselors, consultants, on how we can have leadership in a student's life. But the best and the most important moment of my life was before this moment. Before this moment, it was giving my first TEDx. So my TEDx talk was on how to be a childlike leader. That was the most phenomenal thing I've ever done in my life, where I spoke to over 300 to 400 people on how you can be a childlike leader, which I think is a beautiful topic, but that's for another day. Okay, so now, since I've asked everyone, I want to ask all of you, what does leadership mean to you? Okay, so just key in this website on your browser, www.menti.com, type in the code and share with us what leadership means to you. Okay, if there are any issues regarding this, just personal message me, or you can just reach out to me if you have any issues regarding this. Okay, yes. Okay, please, as many of you, please share. It'd be really nice to know what you think leadership is. There's no right or wrong answer, so please. Nice. How you contribute, true intentions, guiding people. If you have any names also, like for example, Bapak saya, go ahead, no problem. Any person that you think is like a leader in your life, or your friend's name, or your boyfriend's name, or your girlfriend's name, no problem. Wow, that's very nice. Strength to become better. I see someone's name, Faisal. Faisal Nazri. Hey, make sure you feel that person's a leader. Jangan just like simply only put their names. Okay, so please, I think you can do it once or twice. So just let me know what you think leadership is. Okay. Okay, people are still writing. So what I can see, the biggest thing is responsibility. Responsibility, inspiring, being a better you, passionate, guide, strength to become better, self-confidence, inspiring. Oh, I see some names also, that's great. Okay. Has everyone shared? I think only 90 people shared. We'll just give like a few more minutes for everyone. Oh, someone wrote me. Wow, that's very nice. Not dictatorship. Betul, betul. Correct. Who's Farhana? Okay. Awesome. All right. Now, let's come back to it. So thank you so much for sharing. Let me share my screen again. You can continue doing this. We will share again when we're about to finish. So as you all know, a lot of you have said leadership is about inspiring, about guiding, about understanding, use names. I saw Jessica Arden's name. I saw a lot of your friends' names. I saw the word these amazing words. So that is true. Leadership, again, is very subjective. So not necessarily leadership means specific one quality only, right? It means various qualities, okay? I'm so sorry, but I'm getting some problem here. So let me just stop sharing and just try again. Can you guys see me? Because I feel like I'm a bit blurry. If you can, just raise your thumb. Okay, wait. Okay. Can you see my screen? Okay. Thank you. All right. So again, all of these virtues and values that you've all shared, all of them are
Okay, let's give some time to Miss Archana to come back. Meanwhile, please be patient. Right, she's
Hi,
here.
sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know what's happening to my Zoom. The Zoom is giving up on me. Okay. All right. Okay. So yes, as I was mentioning, leadership again is a very vast, subjective term. So it does not necessarily mean that you only have to have one virtue, that I only must be courageous or I only must be inspiring. There are many, many virtues to leadership, and all of them are correct. As long as you don't say something like murderer, that is leadership. But when we talk about leadership, right, in a lot of my journey about leadership, I always ask the question, who are leaders then? If you're talking about leadership, who are leaders? So many of you shared some names, which is amazing. But I don't know who is Faisal and Farhana. But if you guys are leaders, so please let me know later. But the remaining is that who are leaders in your life that you can actually look at them and say, this person's a leader. So leader are people who are believers. If you don't believe in something, you can't lead. A very good example of a person like this is Hitler. Hitler, although was not a very good man, he was a leader in every sense of the way. Why? Because he had a group of people who believed in him. He believed in one specific idea, a theory that all Jews should be killed or should be incarcerated or something like that. So that belief was so powerful that we had thousands, hundreds and thousands of people following him, agreeing to what he was doing and also supporting him. So those people are believers. And Hitler was a leader, although not a very good leader, I agree. But morality aside, he was a very, very, very good leader, very prominent person in our history. Leaders are also people that inspire to grow and to change the world. Another good example of this person is Mark Zuckerberg. Okay, we all know who Mark Zuckerberg is. He changed our lives, but he also allowed the world to grow and inspire change. And that is very rare. How often do you see someone coming up with Facebook? Okay, we talk about all these amazing companies around us, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Grab, all these things. These people that have created it, they are inspiring the world to change, to grow, although with technology, but looking at their inspiration and their progress, we can clearly say that these people are leaders. People who lead and take charge are definitely leaders, but also people who know when to step back and lead and let others lead, sorry. So this very good example is Robin Sharma. Robin Sharma is a very famous author and he's a leadership coach. And he's someone I really look up to because he told this concept in a masterclass session that I had with him once. So he said that leaders are not only people that are out there, that are going out there and talking and changing the world, but they are also the people who are sitting behind and letting others do it, which I think is very important because we all want to be the star of the show. I mean, even like just say in school, in college, you're doing an assignment, you do all the work, and then suddenly your friend be, oh, I did it. And then in front of the class, your teacher's like, wow, very good, huh? And you're just like, hey, I did all the work. So a leader must know when to step back and let others lead, to just let them take the show, because that is the best quality of a leader actually. And so coming back to that, in my journey of researching what leadership is, I went to research about Martin Luther King Jr. If you guys know who Martin Luther King is, please raise your hand. I think there's a function for you to raise your hand on. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. Martin Luther King is, I think, someone I really look up to. I researched a lot about him because I found him to be someone very persistent. He was a believer, he inspired people, and he led a revolution. Having that is so difficult in today's world, and Martin Luther King, being someone who was not allowed to be a normal human in his country because of his color, he changed the world. I also went to research about Mahatma Gandhi. Those that know Mahatma Gandhi, please raise your hand. If you don't know, I need to speak to your history teacher now. All right, thank you so much. Mahatma Gandhi, again, a very revolutionary figure. I did a lot of research about him because I really liked his aura, the way he spoke. He was a lawyer, but he would speak so softly, like, "Hi everyone, good morning." Very humble man. But he changed the whole landscape of a country and led a revolution. And then you have Simon Sinek. Okay, who knows Simon Sinek? Please raise your hand. Those that don't know, put their hand down, please. Okay, all right, many of you know Simon Sinek. Simon Sinek is a very famous author. He's a leadership coach and he's also a very famous public speaker. I am a huge fan of him because he was leading a corporate job and he got so tired, he left and he started his own thing, which I want to do lah. Just don't tell my boss. So Simon Sinek teaches us about one concept. Start with why. Start everything you do with the question why. For example, if you want to start an organization, ask yourself, why am I starting it? If you want to join a company, ask yourself why. If you want to start a course in a university, if you want to learn a subject, why? So Simon Sinek says that the start of being a great leader, an effective leader, is starting with why. So this is all the research that I've done. And again, I haven't met these people, but I'm really grateful that I did meet a lot of leaders in my life. One of it being Shashi Tharoor, Dr. Shashi Tharoor. Dr. Shashi Tharoor is a politician from India, and he has written over 30 to 40 books on history, politics, and many more things. You can see I'm so excited to meet him that I didn't iron my shirt. I was super fangirling next to him because he's an idol in my life. And he's a very famous author, orator, and he's a leader in my eyes, definitely. And then you have Dr. Vandana Shiva. Dr. Vandana Shiva is a double PhD holder. She has written many books on environment and bringing back the environment rights to villages. So in many parts of India, people started going to villages and started making those villages urban areas. They started having buildings and shopping malls. And so Vandana Shiva brought this issue to court. She fought against the Indian government in order to make sure these villages have their land, their environment, everything that they have naturally. And in my journey also, I spent a lot of time with Syed Sadiq as well, trying to understand what is leadership. This one, we were so young here, look at me, I was so young. But I understand that leadership in his eyes was debating. So for him, being a good leader means you must be okay to debate. And I agree to that as well. I think having the ability to speak is very important. And that is something I learned from him. I thought I met the most important leader of my life when I started working with Dr. Mahathir. When I started working with him, it was like working with a superstar. I used to do a lot of research for him. I used to help him draft his speeches. I used to think that, wow, this man at the age of 92, 93 at that time was willing to go out and speak and help people. I mean, that is something I respect. I mean, whatever his political views are, I respect that he at that age is willing to do that. So when I met him, I thought, okay lah, I can die in peace. I have met the most important leader in my life. But the truth is, the most important leader in my life is this lady. Now, no one of you know this lady. Her name, actually, I still don't know her name. I just call her auntie. She's an old lady that lives in India, in Punjab, India. And I met her when I went backpacking many years ago to just meet people and ask them about their life lessons. I met her in a very small house. Okay, she has a very, very small house and she has two boys in that house. One is handicapped and one is bedridden. And I used to see her every other day. She'll come out of a house very early in the morning. She'll come back very late and she used to take care of those boys, you know. So I started speaking to her. I started asking her about her life. And she told me that she works 3 jobs, okay, 3 jobs. And she takes care of these 2 boys. And then I asked her, I said, I mean, in talking, I just told her, I said, well, you know, you're a very good mother. You're taking care of the boys. And you know what she told me? She said, no, I'm not their mother. I don't even know who they are. She said, I came across one of the boys long time ago and he was telling me that his mother passed away. So she started going every day to that house to take care of the boys and treat them like her own child. In her free time, she will go volunteer in the old folks home in India there, and she will also volunteer in teaching people in her neighborhood how to take care of disabled people. How do you take care of someone who's paralyzed? She doesn't earn so much because she's working 3 different jobs, but however much she earns, she donates a part of her salary to these organizations. And when I heard her story, I started crying so much because I can never imagine someone being so loving towards a stranger. And when I met her, that's when I realized she is a true leader, in my opinion. She believes in what she does. She inspires so many people. She inspired me, a random person from Malaysia. And more importantly, she's changing the world. I mean, I wouldn't have the courage to do 2-3 jobs just to fund someone else that I don't even know. But she did that. So this is the picture of a true leader in my life. And she's not a CEO of a company. She's not someone famous. She's not rich. She's not even someone that will appear on newspapers or media. You won't even find her if you go to India. But she is someone I will always say is a leader in my heart. So then the question is, what is effective leadership then? Effective leadership is many things, right? Just like all of you have shared earlier, what is effective leadership in your eyes? So effective leadership simply means you need to have the growth mindset, problem-solving skills. There is an issue, how do you solve it? Okay, for example, now all of you are students. There is an issue in school. How are you going to solve it? Are you going to fight? Are you going to make an issue out of it? Are you going to complain to people? Or are you going to try to solve things in your way? I remember in my school, not so long ago, again, I'm so young, I had one very big bully in my school. She always had the feeling that she's better than me. So she used to come to me and say, kau ni bodoh, kau ni macam tu, this, that. She used to tell me a lot of things. And I was very small, very timid. I never used to speak so much. So I felt so scared of her. Then one day I went back home and I thought about it. I said, she's telling me, kau ni bodoh, kau ni macam tu kan. And she was saying things like, very nasty things like, you should go die, you won't pass your exams, this, that. So I started thinking to myself, she's saying these things to me because she thinks it's right. I just need to educate her, correct? So I started doing that, educating her. So she'll come to me and she'll be like, hey, your shirt looks like so ugly only. Then I'll actually come and tell her, oh, really? I thought the shirt looks nice on me. What? Really? Ugly? Oh, okay, never mind. But I think I look so sexy in this. I look so nice. For example, another day she came to me. I remember I had a very cute pencil box. And she's like, your pencil box so ugly, so useless, disgusting. And I said, really? I bought this pencil box because it was like the prettiest one on the shelf. And I love it so much. I think it's very pretty. So she expected me to be so scared of her, to be like, okay, yeah, correct. But I started educating her. I started telling her, okay, correct, that's what you think. You think it's ugly, but I think it's nice. Slowly, she started stopping. She started forgetting that she needs to make me feel so scared. Because why? I have solved the problem. I'm telling her, you think it's like that, but it's not that. I am coming from a point of view which is full of love, full of empathy. And so that's how I solved it. So you also need to be vulnerable as well. I think a leader is being vulnerable. Just like I think one of you mentioned Jacinta Ardern. She's very vulnerable. She will come out, press conference and say, I'm sorry we failed you. I'm sorry we didn't do this. I'm sorry I didn't do this. Very vulnerable, which I think is a very important quality. Agreeing that you are suffering from something or struggling is very important. Being creative also is very important. Just like Mahatma Gandhi, Dr. Shashi Tharoor, Martin Luther King, all these amazing people believed in something and they were creative about it. Mahatma Gandhi was creative because he went against the British in a non-violent way. If he did the same thing like what Hitler did, he wouldn't be so famous, correct? So being creative, very important as well. Having empathy, just like what I mentioned, met bully of mine. She'll come and she'll try to bully me, but I was being very empathetic towards her. I was telling her, it's okay. You think my pencil box is ugly, right? It's okay. It's not. Empathy, very important. And whatever you do, make sure it's sustainable. Not tomorrow you go down and you say, okay, we're going to change the world. And then the next day, oh, I don't know how. You can't. Make sure you need to have sustainable methods, which is it's a method that you have to keep trying until you get it. You need to be courageous. Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King, all had a lot of courage. And they had a lot of people who connected with them. Like you see me, I am not born during Mahatma Gandhi's era. I don't know him personally, nothing. But I connect with him so much. So you must have that soulful connection as well. And this is the most important thing. Taking charge of the things you can control. So there are many things in life that you cannot control. There are many things in life that you will struggle. Even though you're a leader, you cannot change things. For example, tomorrow, if I'm a leader and I say, I want to bomb Singapore, can you bomb Singapore? It's not possible. For example, so you need to take charge of the things you can control. And that is a good leader, not forcing things that you cannot control. Okay, now the next question is, you all are students. How can you be an effective leader as a student? As I mentioned earlier, believe in something bigger than you, a theory, an invention. I was a very shy student in school. A lot of people don't believe me, but I tell them I was a very shy student. I went to college And then I realized that I need to share things with the world. I believe in something that I need to share with the world. I need to share with people about leadership, about spirituality, about youth empowerment. So I believed in that. You need to have the courage also. I sometimes don't have the courage. Like sometimes you ask me to speak in front of, like, I don't know, you ask me to speak in front of a very famous politician, I still a bit like, oh my God, I'm a bit scared. You must have the courage. Again, take charge of the things you can control and be a leader in your every role and duty. This is the most important thing. You all are students. Be a leader as a student. How can you do that? You have your life as a student, you have your life as a brother, as a sister, as a son, as a daughter, as a boyfriend, as a girlfriend, whatever. Be a very good leader in that way. You have your parents, for example, educate them. Tell your dad, oh, Papa, do you know about this? Do you know that we can do this? Share your ideas with your parents. Share with people around you. Raise awareness. For example, your neighbor. Your neighbor is like, hey, no need lah, this leadership stuff. Or no need to study so much. Tapa. Educate them. No, I need to do this because whatever. So be a leader in every way you can. Even as a friend, be such a good friend that you help your other friend to become a better person. I mean, it's okay to like be friends just to share memes lah. I also do that. But you also need to try to encourage your friends to become leaders in their own way. Now, before I end, I really want to share all this with all of you. It is possible to be a leader as a student. How do I know that? Because I've met people like that. One good example is this man here. This man, his name is Roy Alila. Roy Alila is a Kenyan, and I met him in my trip to Kenya. He is 25 years old, and he has developed a glove that can read people's sign language and develop it into signals for people to understand. So if someone out there is unable to speak and he's speaking to me in sign language, if I wear that glove, I can understand what he's trying to say. He's 25 years old and he's developed this. Why? Because he said that he had a lot of friends, family members who were born that they can't speak, they cannot speak. They're deaf and they can't speak. And because of that, they're using sign language. And he felt that people used to ridicule them, make fun of them. So to make sure that he had that ability, he made this glove to understand. And he's now giving it to people for free. Another leader I've met as a student, right, is this girl, Malavat Purna. She was 13 years old when she climbed Mount Everest, being one of the youngest person to ever climb Mount Everest. I met her in India where I asked her, I said, oh my God, you were 13 years old when you climbed Mount Everest. How do you do that? And you know what she told me? She said, I come from a, oh, sorry, got excited. Just a minute. Oh, shit, sorry. Okay, so I asked her, I said, how did you become so courageous to climb Mount Everest? And she told me, well, she said, I come from a very poor village in India. And people around me always used to say, you cannot do something that you don't think you can. For me, you cannot do something that you don't think you can. So what does that mean? You can only do something if you know you can do it. So she told me, she said, I climbed Mount Everest because I didn't know I couldn't. I came from a very poor village in India where they all started telling me that I can climb Mount Everest. because they were so illiterate. They're not educated. So they're like, hey, Mount Everest only, yeah, you can climb. Why not? Why not? So she did that because she didn't know she couldn't. She climbed Mount Everest. She came back, and then only people were like, oh my God, you climbed Mount Everest. It's such a big thing. And that's where she asked herself, oh, really? I didn't know. And one other great person I met, who's also a student leader, I mean, at that time, is Mr. Damir Fatahov. He's the youth minister of the Republic of Tatarstan. It's a small country in Russia. He came from a very poor family, and he always wanted to help people. So he started doing a lot of charity and everything. And one fine day, he helped a poor person, and that person was, I think, a close friend of a minister or something. I don't quite remember the story. But he was working so hard in helping people that he was given a post, the youth minister post, to not only help people, but to engage with youths and teach them how they can help people. So in the Republic of Tatarstan, people like me and you, young people, are required to do projects for the country, building things, creating new innovations, everything. And he's the one heading that. And he headed this at the age of 30, young 30s. He started taking care of the whole country and all the youths in encouraging them to use their full potential. Before I end, this is my favorite, most famous and most favorite quote of my life. Those crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the ones that do. I think that you all can change the world. I know you all can. It's just that you have to believe in yourself and be an effective leader for that. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you so much for being here. I'm sharing my email and my other social media handles because I'm cool like that. So if you need to reach out to me, feel free. And if you have any questions right now, please just, let me know. I'll be more than happy to answer them. You can, I think, raise your hand if you want to speak and ask your question. Or if you are shy, you can always just ask your questions in the chat box.
Okay, now thank you, Miss Archana, for a great talk about leadership. Now we know how leadership should like, and I think that since it's very subjective, it's really up to you how each and every one of you define what leadership is, right? And then and now we are opening this session to any one of you students or facilitators to ask any question about leadership to Miss Archana until we give time until 10:55. All right, so anyone, I open the mic for you. Okay, if no one wants to start, so let me start first. Miss Ashana, in one of the slide, the local leaders, the guy from Kenya that built
Yes.
the
Yeah.
hand kind of thing.
Yeah.
Can I know how to spell his name? Because I want to want to look up more on what he do.
Okay, his name is Roy Alela. I'll just spell it in the chat box.
All right.
Roy
Thank you. Because
Alela.
I think for someone who cannot speak, for someone who's cannot speak, it's really good to have that. Yeah. Okay, we have a question from Alia Jafar. Go on, Alia.
All right. Hi, hello, Miss Ashana. My name is Al Jafar. So I think I already met you before one of the conference in Utesh Amt. You giving this speech. Yeah, and I really want to know and ask you for further questions about leaderships, as you are one of the women leader and getting empowered about women empowerment. How you abolish the stigma of the women cannot being a good leader as men?
Thank you, Alia. I think that is something that happens happens very frequently in Malaysia, especially. But I think it also depends on where you are coming from. I had a lot of people in my life that tell me that, oh, you cannot do this, it's not right. You shouldn't do all these things. But I just told myself that this is something I enjoy doing. I enjoy sharing with people. I enjoy meeting new people and learning from them. So there is always there's always people that will tell you cannot do. But rather than telling them that, no, I will do it, just do it. It's important to not pay attention to them. So I don't normally pay attention. People who tell you these things, they are coming from a different point of view. Like my parents until today also be like, don't be so political lah, later you go to jail. So I'm like, yeah, correct. They want me to be safe. I agree. But I feel that while I'm young, I should make a difference. So people will tell you so many things. It's just that you must be the one that don't listen to them. You must be the one that says, okay, that's your opinion. I will try my best to do what I need to do. I hope that helps. All right, thank you.
All right, next we have a question from a chat box, which is from Siti Aisha. Hi, Miss Archana. Would you like to know how and where did you receive the opportunities to be working and meeting with great leaders?
Oh, okay. Actually, I believe that it happens in your own journey of progression. When I started uni, I was a very shy, quiet person. But I told myself, okay, I want to try doing my part. So I started giving talks, I started reading, I started joining a lot of clubs and societies. From there, I met all these people. So it's my journey because I learned in my journey that this is what I want. So I meet people from these organizations and all. I mean, all of you here have your own passion, your own purpose. You will find people who will feed you on that. For example, I'm not very active in the environment side of things. I don't normally give talks on environment rights because I don't know much about it. But if you are passionate about that, you can find so many organizations in Malaysia, especially, that are working for environment rights that you can join, and you will actually meet people from there. So I can suggest a few good organizations for youth empowerment, especially. Like I think Nals is a very good organization itself. Then you also have organizations like Isaac. You have Angkatan Belia Muda Malaysia. So many good organizations that you can help be a part of and volunteer.
Okay, next we have question from Arisa Hani. Arisa?
Hi, I'm Arsani from College Inside. I have a question for you. So the question is, what gives you the strength to fight your bully during your school days, and how is your bully person now? Have you ever contact with her? Okay.
Oh yeah, we are good friends now. Thank you so much for your question, Arisa. See, in school, like I said, I was a very shy, quiet person. And my bully, she was bullying me because she had a lot of problems at home. So when I found out about that, I thought she was a bully because she didn't like me. But then I realized that she was a bully because she had problems of her own. So people who are bad to you, people who bully you, people who are rude to you, it's not because of you. It's because they are going through something. And that is something I only learned after I talked to her. So when she started being so mean to me, one fine day I said, oh, okay, I cannot tahan. I have to fight back. So I started, like I mentioned earlier, I started talking to her nicely. I started being very nice to her. I asked her, dah makan ke? She like, why are you asking me? So those kind of things, I started being so nice to her. And that's when she came and told me, she said, I'm sorry for being so rude and mean to you. It's because I'm going through this at home and all of this. And then I realized, hey, it's not actually her. It's her journey. And so now we're actually very good friends. We keep in touch and everything because I realized that she's not a bad person. is that what she was doing was bad. We separate her from what she is as a person and what she's doing. She's naturally a very nice person. Yeah. I hope I answer your question.
Okay. Okay, we have several hands up, but there's one question I missed on the chat, which is, can you share how you see leadership during your school time?
Okay, leadership during my school time, right? Um, I used to think leaders are people who are politicians. At that time, when I was in school, it was Dato Sri Muhammad Najib who was my leader. Like I was like, oh, my prime minister, my leader. But as I grew older, like I mentioned, I met so many people, and I was like, they are leaders. Even okay, a very good example. Donald Trump is a leader. I know it's very shocking. You're like, Donald Trump, that guy. Yes, he's a leader, although he's not a very good person, but he's a leader. And we must appreciate that. So I slowly started learning that. I slowly started realizing that leadership is people around me, not people above. I used to think they were above, but they're actually people around me. Yeah.
Okay. Can we have Raja Atika to ask the question?
So, am I audible to everyone?
Yes, you are.
Okay. So obviously, every one of us has experienced those moments where we feel like we can't do this, or we doubt ourselves. And I just wanted to ask, in those moments, how do you like suppress those feelings and continue to move on and not think about all those other doubts in your mind?
Thank you for your question, Rajatika. To be honest, I'm not the kind of person who will suppress my feelings. I've tried that, and it became very bad. So whenever I feel sad or I feel like I cannot do it, I will sit and cry. It's okay. I will sit, I will feel what I need to feel, and I will actually tell myself, it's okay. Let's see what I can do about it. For example, right, I was a bit nervous to give this speech today, this talk today. It's very shocking. I've given so many talks, but I'm very nervous today. Why? Because I'm doing it through Zoom. I cannot use technology. I'm very bad at technology. But I was nervous. So I told myself, okay, I sat down, I took a pen, I took a paper, and I'm like, okay, what am I feeling? Why am I feeling scared? Why am I nervous? Why am I worried? So I started writing it down. I started acknowledging the feeling. The more you push something away, the more it will come. So it's important. The way I handle it is I sit, I think, okay, why am I scared? Why am I very sad about this? Feel it, and then take the next step. You know, a lot of people say, don't feel sad. No, I say feel sad, but make sure you feel happy after that. And that is within your control. So you have to, if you have to cry, if you have to, I don't know, go to the gym lah, if you have to watch Netflix, do whatever you have to do. And then you will feel better, and that's when you will be your full potential.
Okay, right. Validate your feelings. All right.
Yeah,
Next
correct.
question from Aiman Daniel. Since you always talk about other leadership style, how do you describe your leadership style?
Oh, thank you so much. Nice question. My leadership style, I don't know if many of you would agree, but the way I do my leadership, practice leadership is by being a childlike leader. That was my TEDx talk. Remember I shared earlier, it was on that as well. How to be a childlike leader. So I believe leadership is important, but being like a child, laughing and having fun. I don't understand why people need to be so serious. And it's very shocking. I go to meetings, right? Everybody's in their suit with tie, and everybody's like very stern. And I'm like, hi, good morning. And they're like, what's so good about this morning? So I don't understand. So my leadership style is being a childlike leader. I believe having fun is very important for you to go do what you need to do. So in all of my work, in my organizations, I'm very playful. And sometimes my own colleagues scold me, they're like, why are you so playful? So that's my leadership style. You can develop your own leadership style. It doesn't have to be right or wrong. Yeah.
Right, next question. I know Nadia can go.
Hi, I'm Aino Nadira. So I'm really delighted to talk to you. So my question is, how, in the organization, there's a lot of people. So how do you cope with a lot of opinions of people?
Oh, okay. Thank you, I know. Whenever I get differing opinions, I just try to listen and I try to see if it's something I believe in. So, for example, if I in my organization in Commonwealth Youth Council, I work with over 50 people, 50 people with different opinions. So sometimes I hear them and then I think to myself, okay, is it something that I agree? If it's not, then I'll be honest. I'm sorry, I don't agree with you. Healthy discussion is very important. Like even with Said Sadiq, I used to have so many discussions with him. I was like, so many things he does, I don't agree. But we are still friends. We still can talk even though we don't agree on things. So what's very important is having a healthy discussion. You don't agree about something, it's okay. Tell people politely and make sure it's a healthy discussion. That's what I do normally.
All right, next question from Muhammad Shamil. If someone doesn't have the courage to speak in front of people, how can we gain the confidence?
Oh, thank you so much for the question. I developed my ability to speak by speaking in front of the mirror. I used to I used to see people and I used to be, wow, look at them, so cool, right? So I used to sit in front of the mirror and then pretend like I'm speaking to someone. And I used to laugh and I used to do very badly, but then I started going outside. So the first time you speak is not going to be good. I remember the first talk I gave, I went on stage. I had everything in my mind. I got the mic. I didn't say anything. I froze. I was like, and then I left. I literally went down the stage. I left because I was so scared. I was so nervous. Your first talk will not be good, really. If your first talk is good, then you are God, lah, really. But if not, your first talk, your first anything will not be good. Just keep doing. The more you do it, the better it becomes. So I started off talking to the mirror. My first talk, I didn't speak at all. Then my second talk, I started speaking. My third talk, my fourth talk, my fifth talk. Slowly, I could speak now. So don't stop because you cannot do it. You can. It's just a journey that you start. You have to try doing it for now.
Question. So can we like do it a bit fast and then like okay I pass it to then Zafrin.
Okay, so hi, Miss Archana.
Hi.
I actually have two questions, but I guess I can only ask one. So,
Yeah.
You say you're like a spiritual person. I'm wondering like what type of principles that you hold on to as a spiritual person and also as a leader, you know?
Okay. Thank you so much for your question, Zafrin.
You're welcome.
I don't believe in religion so much. I'm not a very religious person. I believe that people around me have good in them, and it is my duty to acknowledge that good. So that helps a lot with my leadership style because if I feel that everyone is bad, I cannot work with them. But because I feel that everyone is good, everyone is a form of God, everyone's a form of love, it is my duty to love them, to be with them, to be good to them. So that is in the nutshell how I go about it. I mean, there's so many ways to it. That's just how I go about it.
Okay, next question from Kamar Rahman. how do you handle situations when people do not believe you?
As I mentioned earlier, I just don't pay attention. I don't pay attention to it. People will not believe you because you are saying something that doesn't follow them, and that's okay. You do your part and you say. For example, like today I gave this talk. I'm giving all this information to all of you, but maybe none of you feel, this is important. Apa ni merepek je. So okay, then that's fine. That's okay. My duty is that I have shared it with you. It's up to you if you want to believe it or not.
All right, I'll pass it to Nur Aina. You can go ahead with your question.
Hello, Miss Archana. Can
Hi.
you hear me? Okay. You always giving speech and you do talking. So my question for today is, what qualities are lacking among today's leader from your point of view?
I think Malaysian youths are very, very good people and they are very good leaders. It's just that they are not brave. They don't have the courage. I'm not saying that you must go out and talk bad, but you must have opinion. Even on, I see a lot on Twitter as well. A lot of Malaysians are condemning things like, oh, tak suka ni lah, tak suka tu. It's okay. It's fine. But what are you doing about it? I don't believe that you should only speak bad if you have nothing to do about it. If you want to change something, do it. For example, you don't like your neighbor playing something late at night. No need to go on Facebook and be like, oh, I hate my neighbor is so annoying. You can do that, but what are you doing about it? So I think Malaysians are very, very smart people. It's just that we don't have so much of courage. That's all. That's the only
question
thing.
From Aisha.
Yeah.
Right, sorry. Question
No
from
problem.
Aisha Sufia. You've told us earlier about how shy you were growing up. So what made you realize to start being so active in your position right now and just being how you are now?
Okay, thank you so much for the question. I realized I had to change things because I was too shy to be myself. I will be quiet. I let people bully me. I let people talk bad about me. I never used to have many friends. So I realized that the reason why I'm feeling all this is because I am not telling them who I am. So until I don't do that, I can never be myself. So when one fine day, I told myself, do you want to spend the rest of your life being so quiet and people can bully you and then you're just so shy? You can do so much more. How? You have to first be able to be yourself. So that's what I started doing. I can still tell you, sometimes if I meet other people, I'm still quite shy. Like when I met earlier the picture, Dr. Shashi Tharoor, I was so shy. But like I'm saying, so it is, you don't have to become like perfect in one day. It is a journey. You have to start it to see what you can do. How can you improve?
All right, thank you, Miss Archana. There are so many questions left in the chat box, but I'm sorry we don't have enough time for all
I'm
those
so
questions.
sorry because I think I spoke a bit too long.
But I think since you shared your social media and all, anyone can go to you anytime, right?
No, I mean, if you have any questions at all, anything, please just send me a message. I know all of you are more social media people, so that's okay. I share very ugly pictures of me on social media, so you can definitely ask questions on my social media. If you don't want, you can email me as well, but I will reply you the next day. If you email me after, janganlah email at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., I'm not going to reply. So, yeah. Any questions at all, I'll be more than happy to help.
Thank you, Mr. Yusuf, and thank you, Miss Archana.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Nals. I really had fun. I hope you have a very good weekend. Thank you so much for everything. Stay safe, everyone.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Thank
You
you.
too. Have a good weekend, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Miss Archana.
Thank you. Thank you so much.